Don't want to be afraid, hard not to hesitate, but we can't wait to be the change. It's not too late, free from hate, think of the future that we could create, face the facts today, there's a better way. Take one step back and say, there's a better way. Like a tree, rooted in peace, in peace, in peace. One with all living things, one life heart beating, with soul being, higher mind seeing, our one world is breathing, with you and me.
Because I believe I just heard myself ask you for the weather report.
This is the weather report. This is what's happening. Scientists are telling us we can put 565 more gigatons of carbon into the atmosphere before global temperatures rise by 2 degrees, which is universally accepted as the threshold of total mayhem. Except if you add up the proven reserves of fossil fuels controlled by the world's energy companies, the oil and gas and coal we currently plan to burn, that amount is 5 times the safe limit. So if you think it's bad now, you just wait and see what hell we're going to unleash once we start drilling under the Arctic and digging up the tar sands so you can drive 3 blocks to get an ice cap. You think all of this extreme weather is a coincidence? You want the weather report? This is a reality report!
So all in all, a great Labor Day weekend and good times for the air conditioner industry.
Until the power goes out, you moron!
Mr. President.
Senator from Rhode Island.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last week, I came to the floor and spoke about our nation's military and intelligence leaders acknowledging, along with our nation's scientific leaders, the clear evidence that carbon pollution is changing our climate. Unfortunately, there continues to be some confusion among many Americans regarding the clear scientific consensus, but that is confusion caused by deliberate and coordinated attempts to mislead the American people. For more than 2 decades now, the climate denial movement has been well organized and funded by the fossil fuel industry and conservative ideologues and foundations. The mission of these paid-for deniers is to manufacture uncertainty to manufacture doubt so the polluters can keep on polluting. This isn't a new strategy. We've seen self-serving strategies like this before. These strategies questioned the merits of requiring seatbelts in cars. They questioned CFCs causing deterioration of the ozone layer. They questioned the toxic effects of lead exposure for children. They questioned whether tobacco was really bad for you. Same strategy to manufacture doubt, often actually the same cast of characters involved. While the Congress of the United States has been distracted and deceived by these ploys, climate change marches on. The laws of chemistry and the laws of physics don't care about the nonsense we're up to in this building. They do what the laws of chemistry and physics say. Precious time is wasting. In the balance hang lives and jobs. This nonsense has gone on long enough. The public is being misled. Special interest dollars pulled the strings of sophisticated campaigns to give the public the impression that there is a real scientific debate regarding whether or not climate change is happening. Well, there isn't. There just isn't. The real scientific debate is about how bad the changes will be. So let's look at some of the other games that the deniers play to try to manipulate public opinion. One gimmick that they've reverted to is the observation that there's been no warming trend in the last 10 years. No warming trend, they say, in the last 10 years. In 2010, a Republican senator said, quote, "I don't think that anyone disagrees with the fact that we actually are in a cold period that started about 9 years ago." Well, let's look at the facts. Let's start with the green line on this graph. The green line is the global surface temperature data. It's not a projection, it's not a hypothesis, it's a measurement. This is global surface temperature data. And as you can see, it changes seasonally. Now, the red line that goes through it is the trend line that is mathematically developed from that data. That trend line is the product of basic and undeniable mathematics. And the trend is extremely clear. So, let's look at what the deniers do with the very same data. Leave that one up. Let's put this one right in front of it. Here they take the very same data. The green line is unchanged. It's exactly the same data. And this is how they get to saying that we've had a cooling period for the past 10 years. They pick a high point and they pick a low point out of this data, and they say that's their 10-year cooling period. The problem is, if you go back, here's another one, and here's another one, and here's another one, and here's another one. Interesting how all the cooling periods stack up to an increase.